Hello, my friends. Hope you're well. Hope you're fine. We'll just give it a couple of minutes. Usual skit, boys and girls. If you could just put in the column where you're from and what experience you've got. If you're brand new to it, I'm going to answer some of them questions tonight. I'm going to help people along. My God, I'm getting arc light in here tonight. It's like bright as. So I'm going to do as much as I can tonight to help you out. If you didn't see last night's, bit of a follow-on from last night as well. Hello, Paul. Hi, Danny. Hope you're well. Looking forward to seeing you on the course soon. Hello, Bulgaria. Hello, Ali. Ali, I just read your. I think I just read your message just then. Ali Yeltsin. Yeah, one day, my friend. One day you will see me, and we will catch up and have a beverage of some sort. And all those other people. If you're joining us, just come into the comments. Hello, Mary. Hope you're well in the US. Nashville. Lovely. Lovely. One place I will be visiting as soon as this crap is over. Hello, Mr. Barker. Hope you're well. Hope you're fine. Hope you're fine. Good. Good. So for those people that are just joining us, a little bit of a shameless thing, really. I have got training coming up in July in England. For those people who want to join me for my training in July, go to that website there. And you can join us there. For those people over the US, Canada, I'll be in Las Vegas in July. Oh my God. Hypno Thoughts Live. So those people that are interested, HT Live, all right? So you can go have a look at there, the pre-courses. All the necessary stuff's been cleared. I've just got to wait for the government to let me in now. That's the main thing. So hello, New York. Hello, France. Hello, Lille. And Netherlands. Hello there. Hope you're well. Hope you're fine. Good. I'll always give it a couple of minutes. Guys and girls, if there's a burning question, then what I want you to do is tell us where you're from and all of that. And if there's a question you want answered tonight, especially in and around inductions, I will try to get around as much as I can. Hello, James. I will try to get around as many of the things that I can. Hello, John. Good evening. And I will try to do the best I can to do that. But tonight's going to be about inductions. And the questionnaire that I put out last night, and whatever falls out tonight, I'll then put a questionnaire out tonight. But inductions were a big thing last night, and they are a big thing for hypnotists, hypnotherapists. And I'm going to talk you through tonight how to simplify your inductions and how idiots overcomplicate it. Okay, I'm going to take you through it, and then we're going to do that, and then I'm going to answer loads of other questions. But on the same token, tonight I'm going to talk about inductions and about the mechanics and certain different types of inductions as we go along. Okay, so now, Ali, there's two to this, isn't there, Ali? What do you suggest for self-hypnotic anesthesia? Well, vodka tends to work quite well. Or suggestion. I tend to find, let me just answer Ali's question just there, truthfully, right? I tend to find it's only a minority, my friend. There's only a minority of people that can do that to themselves. I really do think that. I've never met I think I've only met one person that can actually just drop themselves into hypnosis and do that. It's quite possible, quite feasible. That with a lot of practice, that you can do it, but I think you need a third party. I think you need a third party to do that, and that's one key thing for us as well. That's one thing there. I will see if I can do a video on that another day, because that's quite a lengthy one. Good. Don't worry about it. I'm not having some type of fit or anything like that. I am actually trying to read this. Okay, induction for kids. Okay, I'm going to answer that question straight away. Technically, you don't have to use inductions on children. Their minds are such a minefield of beauty and just going out there already that you can just say anything, to be quite honest. I mean, I'm not going to talk about hypnosis inductions in a moment and about how I don't really use them anymore. Okay, and that's something that I want you to take away from this, because that's one thing there. But children, I don't tend to. If I'm going to do it and I want to play a game, I'm a father, don't forget, so if I want to play a game, then I'll play that game and I'll do that, for young kids and stuff like that. But I think if you were to look at along the lines of a guided meditation or a reframe, they're far more effective than doing that. Okay. Good evening, the Philippines. Now, Anne, that's a very good question for the hearing for impeded people with hearing loss. That's a good question. I'm going to answer that right now, so I don't forget it, because it is quite it's something that that's quite interesting. Now, all depends how much they're impeded. There's two ways of doing this. If you go to my street hypnosis, now you might think, well, what's this got to do with this? If you go to my street hypnosis stuff on my YouTube channel that's back there, you'll notice that I'm in Las Vegas for a lot of it when I'm teaching on Las Vegas on the streets at Fremont Street. If you've never been to Fremont Street before, it's a mile long undercover road with the biggest 4D TV above you going. You can't hear anything. All right. You can't hear anything when you're doing it, but yet we do street hypnosis. The reason being is that your pre-talk has to be really, really good. Okay. So just in answer to this question about impaired or deaf people, what I have done before is with a deaf person, and I'll be brutally honest, I've only ever done this once. I have worked with people with hearing damage when doing a hypnosis induction, but the key thing is that the key thing about this is that you could use cue cards. I've used cue cards before. Some might say, oh, that's a little bit dumb, a little bit silly. But on the same token, it worked. It actually worked. Me just going, putting a little key code up, just going, in a moment, you're going to feel hypnosis. I had it all planned out on an A4 sheet of paper. In a moment, you're going to feel hypnosis and see hypnosis. Copy me. Right? And then all I did is just said, and said, wait there, like that. And then this is how I did it. Some people might think this is pathetic, but that's how I thought on my feet, and it worked. And what I did then is I picked up the sheet and said, hypnosis in your fingers, hypnosis in your hands, hypnosis down your arms, hypnosis into the back of your neck, hypnosis all the way over the top. And I did it like that way. All I did is broke it down into its component parts of what I was going to say onto a sheet of paper for a deaf person, and it worked. All right. The other key thing as well is that you don't have to go through that whole pantomime. And I'm going to talk about this in a moment. You don't have to go through that. There's only one question. There's only one question you guys need to ask prior to doing a hypnosis session is, do you want to be hypnotized? If the answer is yes, with a categoric yes, just close your eyes. I'm going to be brutally honest with you tonight, guys. I'm going to break apart most of the stuff that I've been doing over there. So the key things is I will desperately try to get through these, and any questions I miss, I will filter through and I will get them for tomorrow night. That isn't like if you come tomorrow night, I'll answer your questions. There are so many questions that are being bombed at me. I would be here. You might as well just stay here all night. Get your sleeping bags, folks. Let's stay. No, I will do my best tomorrow to answer these questions. So coming back to that, children, cracking imagination already. You can get loads of reframes and loads of stuff like that and get them to work that way. Or the other thing as well is you could literally just do like a pretend session and get them to do it. Kids are really, really great and malleable at that age to work with and to change things very quickly. So you've got that as well. There's the other things as well that you could use. Excuse me while my phone's just kicking off. The other things that you could use as well are like what I said last night about like emotional freedom techniques or thought field therapy or things like havening. You know, they're all roughly the same. They've just got a little bit of pseudoscience that are pumped on the top of them just to make them sound a little bit better. Sorry for those people that do it, but that's my thought and feelings. And for the deaf and impaired people, when I've worked on the streets of Las Vegas, coming back to that, so deaf people, all I've done is done a cue card. Before I turned up, I've broke it down into each page, into what phase I want them to do next, and then lift it up, get them to copy me, and then carry on. Then when I need them to come out of hypnosis, is just tap them on the side of the leg or tap them on the foot, tell them it's ready to do. And that actually worked for me. The other thing as well is impaired hearing. You could do roughly the same. Just roughly the same. That's what I would say on there. All right. So there's that. Hearing for impaired. I'd like to know how to deal with clients with lack of confidence. Always comes up with ex-partners. Right. I'll deal with that in a moment. I'm going to talk about techniques. I'm going to talk about a lot about techniques tomorrow. Right. I will answer the ones that are here, but tonight I want to stay on inductions and stuff like that. But I will at the very end bring up some of these things that you're bringing up here, because I personally think that most techniques are bullshit. I'm going to tell you that now, right? I really, really do. They're only metaphors and models. And if you believe that metaphors and models are only metaphors and models and that they're wrong, then at the end of the day, that's when you start to win. All right. I'm no, by the way, right? Any naysayers out there, my job is to help you, right? I am not some god, right? I'm not something like that who knows it all. We don't. The interesting thing, right? I'm just going to say this because one of the comments last night is about, oh, blah blah blah. I removed the comment. I can't be bothered with ourselves. I can't be bothered with negative people, right? My job is to get you to think, not just impart knowledge, but to think. Right, like I said to, I was doing an Australian conference earlier today, and I said about EFT and TFT. I don't think they're anything to do with meridians. I think they're pattern interrupts. Now, my job is not to sit here and argue with you. That's my personal opinion. You can say, Carl, you're talking shit, and I don't mind. We'll still go for a beer. But when people are vicious and vile and horrible, I'm just like, you need more mental health. You need more support than your bloody clients do. So I just get rid of them off the channel. It's a bit like that on here. I can't be bothered with it. Don't. The more you argue with idiots. Anyway, that's for those people that are on here. Okay, so we've got that. We've got a couple of, okay, in Spain, suffering with IBS. Okay, right, I'm going to do two things, and then I'm going to move on to inductions, right? The two things is tinnitus. First question here about tinnitus. I really want to do diagnostics tomorrow. So what technique would I use with this and that, right? So I hope that makes sense. Tonight is about inductions. I'm just going to do these just so I can clear the board with them already. And I will fleet through this. If I miss you tonight, I will get you tomorrow. Tinnitus. Two things about tinnitus. You've got to find out first, if it's structural damage, or the second one is it stress? Mine is structural damage. I've had my ears tested. I've got hearing aids that help me turn my tinnitus down, because I've been involved for 20 plus years of my life, involved in firearms, explosions, loud bangs. Because when I was firing pistol or firing weapon systems, used to nudge the used to get ear defenders, used to have double plugged, but then you'd have another set over the top, and when you were firing, sometimes that'd get knocked back, and the repeated bang 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 over the top tend to do the damage. And when I had them tested, it was proved that there is something wrong with this structurally. So I have to manage that every day. Okay, so that's a structural problem. If you've got somebody with tinnitus, my strong advice is to send them to a physician or a doctor. I'm trying to accommodate everybody here, to their GP, to their doctor, right? To go find out, or go to a specialist ENT, ear, nose and throat specialist, to check that out. If they can't find anything structurally wrong with it, I was reading something today that COVID, tinnitus is actually amplifying. COVID is actually one of the byproducts of with tinnitus at the moment. So if you get COVID, tinnitus can get fired up. So last March, mine was screaming and I didn't realize it. I just thought my body was under stress, which it was, sorry. But the thing is that that's something to look at. So stress and structural damage are the two things for tinnitus. Always refer your client back to an ENT, an ear, nose, throat specialist, get their lugs, their ears checked, and then do the work. There is no point on anybody. You could sit here and ask the universe if you wanted to, if that's the way you're inclined, to ask the universe to try and fix it, or ask my subconscious to try and fix it. And to be brutally honest, I sit there every day and I hope it fixes. I wish it turns down, all that, and it hasn't appeared. I just have to face facts that this is part of me now. That's the way I get over it. But another way when you're doing it as well is the control room. So if you go back on my YouTube channel, there's one called the control room. I found that really, really good. But turn the stress down first, do an emotional detox, then followed by a control room. They're the type of ways that I'm looking for it. So I hope that answers the question on tinnitus. Okay. Right, Steve, glad you said that. I've got a 15-year-old Zoom client in the afternoon, no induction other than that. I'm gonna go through a couple of inductions for you today, and then I'm going to tell you now, right? Julie, I saw that earlier about insomnia. Okay, we'll probably do that tomorrow. Julie, if you can remind me tomorrow, because that is quite a big one, but I would strongly suggest that insomnia is stress. Again, all right? The issue is never the issue. All right, unless there is something medically diagnosed and they're just not sleeping through the night. Answer it, Carl, you idiot. Is that the insomnia is about stress? Remember, the issue is never the issue. All right, the issue is never the issue. So somebody that's coming to me with tinnitus and that ringing in the ear is not necessarily that. It's probably the stress that's been caused by something else, or mine by firearms. When somebody comes to me with IBS, it's not necessarily the IBS that I'm looking at. I'm never looking at, when the client tells me what is going on, I never listen to it. I'll be brutally honest with you. I'm a hypnotist, not a psychotherapist, right? So the key thing is that when I'm looking at these things, and the client tells me, I'm going, yeah, cheers, thank you very much. I'll negate that for the moment because that's a marker. But on the same token, I'm going to work with the powerful part of your coconut that's now going to tell me everything. That's the point, right? That's the point. Some of you might, I've had comments about, oh, you're so unprofessional. You don't do a consultation, blah, blah, blah. If you don't watch how I work, how the fuck would you know? And that's the point there, right? So the thing is that that's the way that I work, and it works for me and my clients. So tinnitus or IBS or anything like that, then I would then look at the stress factors that are going on as well. All right. So that's the key thing there. I will do a lot more on this tomorrow. And the last one, I'm going to answer this, and I'm going to put a caveat around this, right? So all the little stone throwers have got it, right? Migraines, right? I am not here to offer you solutions or drugs or prescriptions. What I'm going to tell you is go do a search for yourself on magnesium, right? Go look at magnesium and migraines and look at that. I am not prescribing. I am not telling you that's the magic bullet. I'm just telling you there is a lot of work around magnesium, the lack of magnesium in our bodies today due to the fact we don't get enough magnesium and migraines. All right, so go have a look at that. If you type magnesium and migraines in, that may answer it. I will tell you now, magnesium, if you do a lot of research on magnesium as well, it's a great antidepressant as well. However, I'm not here to prescribe. I'm not here and all that type of stuff. I'm just here to give you some guidance, all right? Because I've had tosspots before saying, oh, he's prescribing. I'm not prescribing. If I was prescribing, I'd say take 18 tons of magnesium before you go to bed. That's prescribing. Giving advice is another thing. Okay, right. Are we happy? Right, guys, as you turn up, just put in the comments where you're from and anything you'd like to achieve over the next 5 days. And if people really enjoy it, I'll continue doing this. I don't mind. I don't mind doing this, all right? So, okay. Inductions. Inductions. One of the biggest banes of anyone's life. They are the biggest banes of people's lives. And by the way, if you're enjoying this, give us a thumbs up. If you're not, don't bother putting a thumbs down. Just turn us off. All right, because it ain't changing. All right. Inductions, right? Inductions are one of the biggest banes for hypnotists. When I first started out, I was taught that a hypnosis induction has to take a minimum of 10 minutes. This is genuine. A company that I train with, that I won't even give them the credit of even mentioning their shitty little name, told me that it takes a minimum of 10 minutes to do the induction. All right. And you must do what's called a PMR, and rapid and shock inductions are very naughty. Only dirty stage hypnotists, dirty stage hypnotists. And there's naughty people who do it on the streets. And they're very dirty. All right. We don't use those, right? Do you know why they said that? Because they didn't understand hypnosis inductions. People who tell you shouldn't use a rapid induction, I want you to start smiling, right? The next time somebody tells you this, right? You shouldn't use a hypnosis, rapid or a shock induction, because we shouldn't use them in a clinical setting. That person has not got a fucking igloo about what they're talking about. Let me just tell you that now. If somebody says, oh, you shouldn't use those, they're very naughty. There's naughty stage people. They let us down in our clinical world, right? That's what they're going to get, because they do not understand hypnosis. If somebody tells you that, they do not, and just go flick what Karl said that night, right? They don't understand hypnosis. Here's the shocker, folks. Here's the shocker. Rapid and shock inductions do not exist. Rapid and shock inductions do not exist. Like I said yesterday, I've done so many presentations over the past 48 hours. I'm a bit lost of where I am, actually, so you have to apologize. But on the same token, a rapid and a shock do not exist. Why do they exist? Why do they not exist? Because the hypnosis started way before the client turned up. The hypnosis induction itself is merely pantomime. It has nothing to do with the actual therapeutic phase itself. It's theatre. Believe it or not, I'm a shy teddy bear, right? I do these things and you watch me do them, and you'll watch people do shock inductions, walking up to people in the streets, grabbing a hand, sleep. Oh yeah, I'm such a fucking great hypnotist. That's wrong, right? It's absolutely wrong. For you newbies out there, let me tell you something now. It doesn't exist. It's theatre. And like I said on a video the other day, and it will be all expenses paid once you've got yourself over here, right? But I said the other day on a video about I'm prepared to take any street hypnotist out, right, with me on the streets of London on my terms, and I'll do it live, right? And I will walk around the streets of London and just go to random people and just point to that person and get this street hypnotist to walk up to that person, not say a word and hypnotize them, because it won't happen. It will not happen, guys. It will not happen. It's all in your pre-talk. It's all in the process prior. Yes, you can work quickly, but on the same token, it's all in the build-up. It's all in that theatre, that pantomime beforehand, right? And that's the thing, right? Yeah, shock, yeah. But the thing is that if I give you that little bit of information now, I want you to work with it, right? Because I don't give a shit what somebody does, right? I've done this, right? And anyone who's got experience in cameras or editing or anything like that, we know how to do it, right? I'm just telling you now so I can keep your confidence up. My job is to boost your confidence, not to sell you shit. I just want to get your confidence up, right? The thing is that the prep work is vitally important, when you're doing anything. All the way from your website, what it says on the website, what your videos are like. You guys love watching what I'm doing because you sit there in trance watching me on screen because I talk to the camera. I know how to talk to the camera and make you feel on your monitor right now like I'm talking directly to you. That's what I want you to start doing. The thing is that when you start doing that, when you start looking at the way you're doing your videos and your website, that's when the pre-talk starts. That's when it's so vitally important you get this, that the preamble, the pre-talk is the most important part. Now, that could take 2 or 3 minutes. I don't dispute that. It could take 2 or 3 minutes just to prep a person, get them ready, and do it that way. That's a very easy way of doing it. But to walk up to somebody, just grab the hand and go sleep, that's bang out of order. You just can't do it, right? There has to be a preamble, a pre-talk. And that starts, and we're on the inductions phase, but it starts at your website. It starts at your website by educating people about what you do and what's going to happen. The biggest thing that you guys, I'm no different to anyone here, right? I'm no different to anyone here. I've just got a bigger gob, right? And I've just been trained. I've done a lot more training than some of you. It's the only difference. It's the only very difference. The thing is that people come to me for my confidence. And like I said, on one of the presentations I've done in the past couple of days, is it's key. Confidence is more important than certificates. I just sit there with certificates now and just throw them my head. They don't bother me. I don't even bother doing techniques anymore because I can pull them apart in 5 minutes. But the point is confidence, right? And if you start to learn how to get your patter down into about 3 minutes, then that's when it works. That's when it works. And what I want you to do, guys, is I haven't got enough time to go through it today, but if you have not seen my pre-talk video on this YouTube channel, then go find it. It's on it's on one of the playlists. It's on one of the playlists, but you can go watch it there about my pre-talk, about the preamble. But your website is where it starts, because people will come up to that and go, I like that hypnotist, or I don't like that hypnotist. It's as simple as that. You know, at the end of the day, that's the way these things are, right? They either like you or they don't like you. If they like you, they're going to look at it and go, right, and they're going to watch it the same way as this. Hypnosis is very easy, overcomplicated by idiots to sell shite. That's my opinion, right? I don't mind, but that's my opinion, is it's overcomplicated to sell shite, right? I keep things. Anyone who's ever done my courses, you will know I keep it very, very simple. I keep it so bloody simple. It's unbelievable. In fact, people find it very terribly hard to get their head round that they've probably spent 2-3 years learning psychobabble bullshit when it had nothing to do with hypnosis. Remember that. Remember that. Not even if you don't train with me, just remember that. People filling stuff up, fluffing it up just to pad it out, they'll do it. Hypnosis inductions are easy. On your website, this is still about inductions. On your website, I want you to get on there videos of you working with somebody you may know, somebody you don't know, but a video that watch so people can watch you do it, right? So people can watch you do your thing. That's the key thing. Remember this. Please, 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 please remember this. People buy people. I say it all the time on this channel. There are people that absolutely despise me and send me hate mail because of this channel. Brilliant. You're not my client. I'm not interested. Go play with your unicorns and go play with your angels. Go do what you got to do. I don't mind. I'm interested in seeing the clients who like my style. I don't go out and buy a BMW and go straight away, that's a pile of shit. I never wanted that. I don't know, because I've done my homework first. Same principle. If you go buy a camera, I would never buy a Nikon. I'm a Canon boy. I'm a Canon. Everything's Canon in this office. Camera people know that. Know what I'm on about there. I wouldn't buy a Nikon because I don't like them. I don't like the shape. I don't like the hole. Whereas a Canon, I love the Canon, but I do my research first. If you buy anything, you'll do your research first. Your clients are going to do their research first. And guess what? That's when the hypnosis starts. You'll find this far more easier, guys, if you listen to what I'm telling you and get videos up. I couldn't give a monkey's ass, right, if you copy everything on my site. I don't care, because people, you won't do it the same way as me. You won't do it the same way as me. You'll do it your way. And that is the key fundamental part. But people will watch you and go, I bet some of you watch some of my videos and go, okay, now I'm going into trance. Because you'll always see me and hear me say hypnosis, 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 trance, hypnosis, trance, hypnosis. My website say trance, hypnosis, hypnosis, trance, trance, hypnosis, hypnosis. The more I get hypnosis into it without sounding psychotic, the better it is. So while I'm talking about hypnosis, then I'm getting hypnosis. Some of you at the present moment in time will be feeling trance because I'm talking about hypnosis now. And that's a fact. The key fundamental thing for you guys, the key fundamental thing is to remember this, is that builds up. That builds up, that builds up, that builds up that progression before they get to you, right? People are going to do their homework the same way as if you were buying a brand new car, buying a camera, buying a new pair of shoes, all right? They're going to do the homework and they want to see you. People come to see me. I'm flooded with clients. A lot of therapists go, I'm back to back. And I'm like, oh, really? Oh, I just put my prices up now, but that still doesn't stop it. But on the same token, the point is that people come to me. Why? Because they love this channel. I can't get it enough to cost you, right? If you're nervous about starting a YouTube channel or going on camera, get a fucking therapist, right? Because what you need to work on is your self-esteem and confidence. There's hundreds here. There's 40 people in here. There's 10,000 in this group. There's 10,000 on this channel. There's thousands. If you go to Hypnotic Masterminds, which is my Facebook group, it's called Hypnotic Masterminds. There's thousands of people in there. Just go ask them. Hi, folks. I live in San Diego, or I live in Lowestoft, or I live in Prague. Put up, I'd like to do some practice sessions. Do it, because that's what we want to encourage. Confidence. So your pre-talk is the most important. Now, I'm going to take you through a couple of inductions in a moment. But what I want to do is make sure that you're aware that the hypnosis induction itself is merely mechanical. Is only mechanical. It's not. I used to think that the hypnosis induction was the finale, was the bit that did it. It's not. It's not. It's not. It's the bit that tips them over the edge, but it's not the bit that does it. It's not the bit that does it. Hypnosis starts when people start talking about hypnosis or want hypnosis. I had it on last night. My yellow t-shirt. I've always got them lying around. I haven't got none here at the moment. I don't want to go off camera. I've always got my Hypnotist t-shirts on. I've always got the badge on. And I've always got that on there. The yellow one I had on last night, Hypnotist there. You can either go to my website and go buy one. I don't make any money for these t-shirts, by the way. I just do it. If you go to my UK Hypnosis Academy website, go to merchandise, you can go buy one of them t-shirts. You can have one of them. They're only about $9, I think. But on the same token, that and the Hypnotist on there, right? That t-shirt, those t-shirts have got me more clients than any website, than any Facebook ad ever, because I'm a walking, talking billboard. I am a walking, talking billboard. But mind you, most people who know me and met me in person know that if you cut me open, there is a pocket watch just swinging backwards and forwards inside me, because that's the way I am. I live, breathe, eat shit hypnosis. Nothing more, nothing less. All right? And then go from there. So the key thing is that what I want you to recognize is the process for hypnosis starts when the person is looking in the yellow pages, looking on Google, looking for a hypnotist. They've chose hypnosis over CBT, counseling, all of the other stuff that's out there. They go, I want hypnosis. Then they're going to find the hypnotist they want. They either want a unicorn stroker or somebody who's going to blow the doors off, right? That's where you've got to make the differentiation. Are you going to be the unicorn stroker, or are you going to be the one who blows the doors off? Rough and ready. That's the way I look at it, right? Now, it's the marketing thing I'm helping you with as well. Now, there's nothing wrong with the unicorn strokers. Nothing, because people want that. That's brilliant. Not me. I'm not that. You've got to make this decision yourself. Whereas I do that, and I'm not worried about swearing or doing stuff in sessions and having a laugh and a joke in sessions and being completely the opposite the way some people teach, because I'm a human being. I like working with the human, not the label, right? So the key thing is that once they've made that decision, then they're going to come try and find you. And that's why people look at me, because of my state of this YouTube channel here. And that's what you've got to do, because that moment then is when your process, your induction is started. If you look at it like that, the rest of it will start to happen, because it's the education. It's the education prior to the mechanical thing that works. Some of you would have seen me do what's called a stiff arm induction. That's the stiff arm. For those people who don't know what catalepsy means, catalepsy is the stiffness or the stiffness and rigidity of a muscle group, or the looseness and floppiness. Basically, that's what it is. If anyone's ever read the Dave Elman book, that's roughly what it is. The stiffness and the rigidity of a muscle group, or the floppiness. Yeah. And we see that in people when they get catalepsy, especially when you do the eye lock induction and they're sitting there twitching. The key thing is that with catalepsy, we can use that all the time within our inductions. Yeah. And if you haven't tested for catalepsy before, I strongly recommend you do, because it's a really good way, confidence booster. But the key thing is that when we're working, we say, okay, put your hand out in front of you like so. Okay. Put your arm out like that. So this is the stiff arm induction. If you go back onto my inductions, there is a step-by-step guide to this. I'm going to tell you about the cheats behind it. Okay. So when you've got a stiff arm induction, you can all do this now. Don't punch TV screens. But if you all do this now, right, you can do that. And then what you do then is get the client to focus on the back of the hand. But another way of doing it is get them to flex it and just flex their arm down like that. So you'll notice that I've just pushed my arm down. What it does do is, if you notice now, is it just tightens up the muscle groups and make it a little bit tighter. Not really tight, but enough. Right, just enough. So it's just different. That's all it is. If I do that like that, if I flick the hand down, it's just a little bit harder to bend. Make sense? Guys, this is what you're doing. This is what hypnosis induction is, to make the person think that there's something's happening. If you get them to do that and then do that, or just do that and then do that, and just bring their hand down as hard as they can that way, like that, there is tension. I'm not saying you can't bend it. There's tension. That's what you're doing. I'm going to show you a real cracking induction in a minute. One that's on my YouTube channel as well. But yeah, you can use. So Mario's just said you can use this to deepen it. Yeah, I use it as a deepener all the time. But the thing is about the stiff arm induction, it's a great way of just getting them to feel that something's going on. Remember, a hypnosis induction is about causing a belief that something's happening. It doesn't mean something is happening. It's causing a belief that something is happening. And I want you to just recognize that. That's why I sometimes get called a one-trick pony. I love it. I really do, because this statement, I've got it on a screenshot by some idiot in England. Karl Smith, a one-trick pony. He only uses one hypnosis induction and travels the world teaching it. Yeah, You're absolutely right. Karl does teach one induction and has traveled literally around the world teaching it, because they don't understand what I'm telling you now. The point is like with Maggie Fingers, all you're doing is causing a belief. If you, with the stiff arm induction, you get them to drop their hand down, I'll do that, and just do that, it causes a rigidity. So when they're doing it, they'll go, oh yeah, something's happening. That's the bit you're looking for. That's the bit you're looking for. Like this. They're going, oh yeah, something's happening. If you do that, nothing. You do that, yeah, I can feel tension. Yeah. Yeah. They won't know. They'll think, if you tell them just to relax the bottom of their hand, guess what? They'll do that. They'll go, yeah, I can feel some tension. If you close the hands, then it's like that. Yeah, just look at that. Now look at the bottom of your hand. Some people say, look at the top. Look at the bottom of your hand. That's it. And just do that. And then we just do that and you'll feel it. It's about causing a belief. It's about causing a belief system. Now, the other one, Maggie Fingers, right? I kill this one. I do. I take this one to heaven and back sometimes. But on the same token, right? The key thing that I want to get across to you guys at the moment is magnetic fingers. A fail-safe unless they've lost their limbs or they've got dystrophies and they can't use their fingers, right? An absolute fail-safe. There's not a day that goes by where I just don't go. To prove this, right, some people walk in my office, I'll talk to them and I'll go, ready to go in hypnosis? And they'll do that. They've watched my channel so many times. But the key thing is that with Maggie Fingers, right, when you're out next time, when you're out in a pub or a club, and if you're wearing a hypnosis t-shirt, what was that question just there? Can I wear your hypnosis t-shirts? Yes, of course you can. In America, yeah, of course you can. If you buy my t-shirts, go to the website. Somebody just asked a question about the t-shirts. Go to my website. At the top is a merchandise button, and up there you can buy the t-shirts there. All right, there's ladies ones and men's ones on there as well. Right, so I'm going to do a vetoes at the same time. This induction is one that I will use. The magnetic fingers induction is the one that I'll use in person, or if I'm doing a demo, if I'm out, if I'm drinking and I'm wearing a hypnotist t-shirt and I forgot to take it off and someone says, I bet you can't hypnotize me. I'll come on to that in a moment. This is the one that I do. All right, magnetic fingers. And it's the one that is the principal one that I use on Zoom. All right. You don't need these, though. I'm telling you now, you do not need a hypnosis induction. When your confidence levels like mine, I sometimes just sit there and go, you ready to go into hypnosis? Yeah. Do you want hypnosis? Yeah. Then just close your eyes. Before I go into that, let me just explain it, because I was going to leave this till later on. There's only two questions that I ask. Do you want to go into hypnosis? Yes. Are you ready to go into hypnosis now? Yes. Similar questions around that, right? If they go yes, yes, like that, brilliant. We're go, go, go. If they go, I'm not sure, or no, I don't want it, then why fight them? Don't fight them. Fine, that's fine. Thanks. Okay. Go back and look at your pre-talk again. Look at doing your pre-talk over again and just manipulating that pre-talk a little bit more. Maybe talking them through it. All right. And then, but one on the Maggie Fingers, I'm not going to give you a top tip now, right? I'm going to tell the client exactly what I'm going to do. Then we're going to do it, and then it's going to happen. I'm going to tell the client what we're going to do. I'm going to tell them what's going to happen. We're going to do it, and then it's going to happen. Right? Simple as. In a moment, I'm going to take you through, right? You people that have never done hypnosis inductions before, everybody, I don't particularly want to get trance, but if you do go into trance, I want you to stay perfectly on your chair, perfectly safe, perfectly as you are, right? But on the same token, first things are, do you want to go into hypnosis? Some of you are nodding already, right? Some of you are nodding. Okay. And the other thing is that while you're doing that, you're ready to go into hypnosis. And the key thing is, especially, let me just show you how I do it on Zoom. I'm at 45-degree angles to that camera at the moment. Why? Because if I do it like this, then I can't see in a minute. I can't watch their eyes. So when I'm doing it on Zoom, I do it this way, right? The hypnosis induction this way. I'm just 45 degrees on. Just copy me now. I'm not particularly after trance, right? But if you do, just pop out of it within seconds afterwards doing it, right? But on the same token, all we're going to do is just do this, right? All I want you to do now is just interlock your fingers like so. Ooh, interlock your fingers like so. Bring your hands up like so. Yeah? Bring your forefingers out. Bring your forefingers out like so. Now separate your fingers. Now stare at the tips of your fingers. Some of you are thinking this is just a suggestibility test. All right? That's fine. That's fine, right? And just do that. Yeah? Happy? So in a moment, something will happen with your fingers, right? Something will happen with your fingers. Okay, and it's going to go down your fingers, into your arms, into the back of your neck, over the top of your head, and then it's going to trickle down your eyes, making your eyes blink. Happy with that? Good. Just break your hands off. Okay. So in a moment, what we're going to do is we're going to go through that process again. In a moment, I'm going to get you to put your hands together. We're going to get your fingers to separate. And then what we're going to do then is I'm going to make that hypnosis pull those fingers together. And as that hypnosis pulls those fingers together, you'll notice it travel down your arms, into the back of your neck, over the top of your head, trickle down your eyelids, making your eyes blink. Happy? Right, let's go for it. Good. Put your hands together like so. Put your hands together like that. Put your hands up like that. Put your 4 fingers out like so. Separate your fingers. Stare at the tips of your fingers. Keep staring at the tips of your fingers. Now watch the power of hypnosis. Bring those fingers together now. As the fingers come together, just watch the fingers coming together. That's it. Just let it happen. And let that hypnosis go all the way down your arms, into the back of your shoulders, over the top of your head, like we did a minute ago, and it just trickles down your forehead, into the back of your eyes. Just notice them start to blink now. And you may notice the blinking start to happen now. That's it. Okay. 3, 2, 1. You're back in the room, everybody. Hello. Wakey, wakey. Right. Let me just go through that again. I told you about it. I went through a demo of it and then we did it. That's the best way that I can teach you tonight to go through the process. So let me just take you through that again. Anybody that's got their eyes closed, wakey, wakey. The key thing about this is that what I want you to take from this is that I told you what we're going to do. In a moment, we're going to do something with our hands, and your hands will come together, causing hypnosis, and then the hypnosis will go through your arms, over the back of your head, over the top of your head. Okay? Okay, so what we'll do now is I'm just going to show you what process we're going to do. Okay, put your hands together like so, put your hands like this, put your hands like this, put your hands like this, separate your fingers. In a moment, the hypnosis will go through those fingertips, down your arms, into the back of your neck, over the top of your head, and then over the top of your eyelids, making your eyelids blink. Right? And then what I did then is I said, shake your arms off. Let's do that again. You're already primed. A pantomime, folks. Watch your fingers. Fingers are coming in all the way down your arms. Keep focused on the fingers. Feel the hypnosis. Go all the way down into the back of your head, over the top of your head, down your forehead, trickling over your eyes until they start to blink now. Yeah, Avito, you don't need to like that. You don't need to. That's me. Like that'll do. You don't need to click. Let me explain about clicking tomorrow. Right, you're in a world. Sorry, I don't know what your name is underneath that. You're in a world. On a second session with a client, would you use a different induction? No, I just get them to close their eyes because the pantomime and the belief has already been done. It's a great question. It's only on the first time that I see a client that I do it. On the cheers, Alan. Alan, yeah. So on that, no, I wouldn't even use an induction because the belief is already there. Are you ready to go in hypnosis? Do you want to be hypnotized? Let's go into hypnosis. Take a nice big deep breath. Close your eyes. Go into your hypnosis now. That's as simple as that, my friend. I wouldn't even bother with an induction. Oh, Alex. Oh, people who don't know, my nickname was Smudger in the army. Now Alex has just bumped it up. So if anyone's wondering what he's calling Smudger, my nickname's Smudger. It was Smudger for years until somebody in the police said, "You can't be called Smudger anymore. It might be deemed offensive." Anyway, that's a different thing. So, Avito, don't worry about the snapping of the fingers. Clap your hands. I'll talk about that tomorrow. If you remind me tomorrow, I will do that tomorrow, right? I'm going to go why I click and why I clap, right? It irritates some people out there, some of the self-proclaimed greats out there. Great, brilliant. I'm really chuffed that they really hate it. But on the same token, there is a reason I do it, and I found it works for me and my way, right? So we'll look at that. Right. So does that make sense? I did that 3 times. So if you tell your client that we're now going to do it, then you demonstrate what we're now going to do and then go for it. Your hypnosis inductions will be far, far more efficient. And magnetic things, I could sit here and do the, if you've got a pen and paper there, there's one called the Catalepsy Induction, right? There's one called a Catalepsy Induction, which Dave Ellman coined. And what he does is he does it with a cigarette. He does it with a cigarette. It's called the Catalepsy Induction, right? If you don't know what that is, go have a look at it. But I'm not going to explain it to you. The Catalepsy Induction. Dave Ellman, if I can get the recording of it, if I can speak to Larry and Cheryl and get this recording for you. It's a brilliant recording, but on it, it does prove the point that he's sitting there and he's got a cigarette in his hand. Now, don't forget, we're talking about 1950s, early 1950s, and that's that. Just buy into this, right? And he's got a cigarette on stage. And you can ask Larry and Cheryl this. Ask if anyone knows Larry or Cheryl Ellman. Please go contact them, Larry and Cheryl Ellman, and say, oh, I spoke to Karl and he said about the catalepsy induction. Can you tell us more about it? Or have you got any videos on it or any transcribes on it? Then they will help you. Larry and Cheryl Ellman. Larry is the son of Dave Ellman. All right, guys, if you're enjoying it, just put some thumbs up, because I just want to make sure I'm going along the right tracks. I don't want to sit here and barking up the wrong things. But the catalepsy induction, Dave Ellman uses a cigarette. I tend to use pens and stuff like that, but I'll use anything for catalepsy induction. Hello, Trevor. The key thing about it is that in that, he talks about the induction. He demonstrates what he wants to happen during that induction. And then what he does then is he then performs the induction. So we talk about the induction. In a moment, I'm going to light this cigarette. And as I inhale those cigarettes, as I inhale it on the first one, you'll notice your eyes start to get heavier. And then on the second, you'll notice that you're breathing, and you may notice other things start to change during this hypnosis. And on the third one, your eyes will become so heavy. And that's what he does. And then on the second one, he goes, so you're happy with that? I'm going to take three breaths of this cigarette. And on the third one, your eyes are going to get really heavy and you'll go into your hypnosis. Happy with that? He goes, okay then. 1. Just notice your eyes and that hypnosis going in now. 2. Just notice that hypnosis starting to hit the back of your eyelids now, starting to make them blink. And that third one there, just notice that hypnosis now making your eyes just start to blink even more now until they want to close. And if some of you are probably blinking now. But Steve, I will tell you now, you're absolutely right. In sales training is exactly it. Tell them what you're going to tell them, tell them, and then tell them what you told them. Exactly. Except it's just tweaking it. All you're doing is just doing a demo for it. You're just talking about it. You're going to talk about what's going to happen. You're going to demo it, and then you're going to do it. Easiest way to get somebody in, because the belief pattern's building up. It's just one big panto. The hypnosis starts when they walk through your door, when they've hit your website. Your job now is just to tweak that. When you're doing this, a lot of people, if you're using the word relax in any of your work now, remove it. If you're having problems with your inductions, remove it. You'll notice a minute ago when I did this, notice that hypnosis pulling the fingers together. Notice the hypnosis pulling the fingers together. Notice the hypnosis go down your arms. Notice the hypnosis go into the back of your neck. Notice the hypnosis come over your forehead. Notice the hypnosis hit the top of your eyelids as it starts to blink now. Some of you are probably doing that now. But the thing is that I'd be interested. Put in the comments if you can feel anything happening, because that's when the magic's happening, folks. That's the point. Hypnosis, hypnosis, trance, hypnosis, trance, hypnosis, hypnosis, trance. You will get hypnosis by using those words. If you sit there and say dandelions, 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 you're not going to get it, right? You can, carrot, banana, you're not going to get it. If you say hypnosis, it causes something up here or in here, because I don't believe that hypnosis happens up here. I believe that hypnosis happens here, and then this is the fuse box up here. All right. And just for David there, it is one huge big pantomime. It is one huge pantomime. When you get that and it becomes your theatre and you start enjoying it, guess what happens? Ta-da! And I don't mean Danny LaRue. I'm not wearing a black top tonight so I can sit there and blend in the background, by the way. Just I forgot to put a shirt in. So the thing is there, it is. And when you realise it's a show, it really is a show, then that's when it is. That's why when you see people doing street hypnosis, stage hypnosis, it's all a show. And that's what happens. Okay. So what I want you to do is those people that are new to it, use the magnetic fingers. Go back to my magnetic fingers, all right? If you're fairly experienced, try using the catalepsy induction. the Arm Induction, the one that I just mentioned just then, and sitting there and just doing that, not smoking. I'm not condoning smoking, by the way, but or dropping a pen, or just getting something like this and just going like this, just going, I'm going to drop this down in a moment, right? Let's see if this happens with a few of you, right? In a moment, I'm going to drop this pot down. It's vitamin D3, D. I'm going to drop this down, right? I'm going to drop this onto my hand 3 times, okay, in a moment. 3 times, I'm going to drop it down. On the 3rd time, you're going to notice yourself and that hypnosis just starting to hit the top of your eyelids, right? So in a moment, I'm going to drop this down 3 times. And on the 3rd one, okay, on the 3rd one, you'll start to notice, right? So I'm just going to show you now. 1, you'll notice your eyes getting heavier. 2, you'll start to notice now that hypnosis just starting to make those eyes blink and become heavier. And 3, you'll just notice now that hypnosis. Ready to go into it? Ready to do it now. Here we go. Here we go. 1, just notice those eyes just starting to get a little bit heavier now. 2, just notice your eyes just starting to blink a little bit more now. 3, and that last one, just feel that hypnosis now. Just going through your body. Anyone? 3, 2, 1. Back in the room now. Perfectly safe, perfectly fine. Loads of love. Does that make sense? Does that make absolutely no sense? It is a pantomime, folks. Anyone telling you that they can walk up to somebody in a high street and do that, and they can do it just by walking up to somebody in a high street, is full of shit. And I will call them out. I've done it. I've been a street hypnotist. I've done stage shows. All right. So remember that. Build it up. Build it all the way up from your website. Show us who you are. Show us the videos. Those videos, right? Those videos there will build people up, build that up in their imagination. The hypnosis starts at the website. The hypnosis starts when they choose a hypnotist. Then they come find a hypnotist. Then they look at you. And then what happens is that then they start to build that picture up. And then before they get there, they sit there and they're putty in your hands. I'm telling you now, this YouTube channel has done me world of good, not just for my business, but for when I'm doing things as well. Unbelievable. But I started noticing people going, sit and show, ready to go in hypnosis? And they do that straight away. And it is a bit boring. Don't get me wrong. I can sit here and I could teach you the Arm Induction if you really wanted me to. I could teach you the Arm Induction. I could teach you many more inductions. I could sit there and teach you the Catalepsy Inductions. I could teach you the Catalyst Inductions. I can teach you sitting there picking your nose induction, rubbing your ear induction, sitting there watching a pocket watch swing backwards and forwards. That's the same principle. Same principle. In a moment, what's happened with the prestige of a pocket watch, isn't it? When you look at that, right? When you look at that and you look at the pocket watch, it's been built up to already, oh, you're a hypnotist and you need a pocket watch. Already your head's going, and we're going to wait for it to swing. That's the point. You're just building up and building up. It's one big show, right? And when you get that and start being a personality, all right? Start being a personality. That is one of the key things that I'm going to do. Human one, good question. Human one, where do you make more of your money? Teaching students or as a hypnotherapist? This year, as a hypnotherapist. This year, well, actually, I went through stages. So let's make that clear. Is that I was a hypnotherapist first, learning my trade, working for charities, where I built my confidence up. Then I'm a qualified teacher as well. So what I did then is I then got that qualification and then utilized the learnings that I've got and stuff like that, turned it into packages and things like that. That's where it happened then. And you get a spike, but either way, where those spikes are, where you get the training finances coming in, it's always either side. So I'm a hypnotherapist. If you go to Karl Smith Hypnotherapy, if you go to Karl Smith Hypnotherapy, that's primarily my business. This at the moment, this is mainly online training. That's where it is there. So I hope that helps. Yeah, because you will see people, at the end of the day, yes, I do earn off my online courses. Yeah, you all. Yeah, Steve Barker. Yeah, we are all hypnosis teachers. The one thing that I want you to get from this is don't think that Carl the Gobshite sitting on the camera here now, oh, I'd like to be like that one day. You are like me. just start doing the bloody videos now. Just start doing those videos. I want you to really get out there and educate people. What you're doing is you have to educate your people. You have to educate them. That's what about hypnosis is. You know, people always go, oh, I've got Freddie Jacquin, we've got Anthony Jacquin, we've got Igor Ledahowski, we've got all of these top names, David Schneider, Rick Collingwood down in Australia with his mesmerism and all that side of things, Marco Perat over in south of France doing his mesmerism. All these people have got these video channels. Mike Mandela, nearly missed Mike Mandela then. Mike and all that lot. When we've got all those channels and people think, oh, I'd love to be able to do that. You bloody can do that. We're no different. We're no different. We're just slightly further up the ladder. That's all that's happened. I want you to really consider this. Get your YouTube channel up and running. Get it on your bloody website and start educating people about who you are. I really can't emphasize that enough, folks. If you haven't got clients, then guess what? You're not educating people enough because because that's what they need. They need education about what you're doing. Human one. No, I let it all out. What's the point? Let me just answer that question. Do I ever hold back any of your information? No. What's the point? People still come to me for my training. Do you know why? Because they're not coming to me they're not coming to me for certification. They're coming to me for confidence. Like I keep saying, if you missed it earlier, hypnosis, there is in the hypnosis industry, there are no governing bodies, right? Let me get that out there straight away. If there is, then please inform me. But at the moment, there are no governing bodies in Australia, America, Canada, UK, or Europe that I know of, right? The thing is that they're very quick to hand out certificates after taking your money, but they're not interested in giving you the confidence. That's what my difference in training is. I will give you the foundations and everything that you need, but then my job is to build that confidence and put you in. Anyone who's been on my training before knows this. I will put you in terrible situations and scenarios, and I will prove to you that you can do it in any scenario. I've had teams before, literally, I've had people before, and I've just dragged them out on the streets of Las Vegas. I've dragged them out and they're doing, like, for want of a better word, clinical. I don't really like that word, clinical hypnosis. There's no such thing. It's a made up term to sell shit to people, right? I do hypnotherapy diplomas, professional hypnotherapy diplomas, but I'm not buying into the sales technique calling it clinical, because most people just, they get told they're doing it, but they can't do it. Most people can't even do glove anesthesia or, analgesia when they're doing it. All right. Ioana, if that's the way you pronounce it, I'm going to do that in a moment. But the key thing is that just lost myself. The key thing is about confidence over certification. There are no governing bodies. And most people that go into governing bodies get constrained. They get constrained. They feel like, oh, I can't do that. I can't do that because I might get kicked out of the association or the crediting body. Good. This is the best thing that could ever happen to you. Be brutally honest, getting kicked out of one of those things, because then you express yourself. You can be who you want to be. The only people that I go to a CPD standards office, and the reason I have them is because they show companies that I've been through standard of my curriculums, my criteria, my all of that type of stuff. That's the only reason I do it, just to show corporate and business that we've got a company that has some form of training guidance now. All right. I don't know how to pronounce your name. Ioana. I'm new to this channel, very curious about self-hypnosis. Self-hypnosis, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. If you tell yourself something, you will become it. Every morning, wake up and tell yourself you feel absolutely great, on top of the world, and feel great about yourself. That's self-hypnosis. I could sell you a course on that for the $500 right now, or I could just tell you that. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. You don't cause the hypnosis in clients, and you cause the hypnosis in yourself. I quite easily go into trance now. I've taught myself how to do it. But the key thing is that what I want you to recognize is, as we come to an end, is that all hypnosis, you do it yourself. Self-hypnosis is about repeating powerful, positive affirmations to yourself, roughly, right? Avito, right. The online courses, learning stuff off of me, right? You can go away and do it, but I still prefer to have people sat in front of me. I teach people this. All right, I teach people this about like this. I'm teaching you now. You're learning now, hopefully. But the point is that there's nothing better than being in a classroom with me to do that type of stuff, or a trainer, right? Whether it be Freddie or Mike Mandel or Freddie and Anthony Jacquin or Mike Mandel, whoever it is that's doing that online course, there's nothing better than being there and having that confirmation, all right? Okay, so there's nothing better than that. I'm going to try and go through some of these as quick as I can now. I made a video showing hypnosis. My tutor rang me to say, take it down quickly. First, right, let me just say this, right? The reason, right, there's a question on here. I made a video showing hypnosis and my tutor rang up to tell me to take it down quick. It's strictly against the rules to film. I was being told that the governing body, I was breaking their law. I would have left the video up because you'll earn more money in having those videos up than you will being in any governing body, all right? Ignore the bastards. Okay, Cheryl, in some of my training, you'll see what's called the Hypnotic Cycle. So I freeze and forget what comes after inductions and just pull a blank every stinking time. Why can't I get past that? Download it's called the Hypnosis Cycle. And on my YouTube channel, I go through the 5 stages and the bits in the middle, right? If you've done the kinetic shift course, everyone knows what I'm on about. It's called the 5 cycles. It's called pre-talk, induction, deepener, suggestion, emergence. All right. And it just goes around in that cycle continuously. Pre-talk, induction, deepener. And it basically it's just a guide for you. I get students to put it on the floor because otherwise you get that meerkat moment. If you don't know what a meerkat moment is, as a trainer, what happens is when you're in a classroom, people do this, right? They do this in a classroom. They go, they're fucking hypnotized. I've hypnotized somebody. That's what it is. So the point is, the point is that is just a guide. So if you look for what's called the Hypnotic Cycle, if you don't know what it is, email me, go to the website, email me, and I will PDF it out to you. Laura, if you go to Hypno Thoughts Live, myself, David, and Mike and Chris are normally leaning up against the alligator bar. If you say to David or Mike, Carl would like to share a beverage with you at the alligator bar at the Orleans Hotel in Vegas, they would both say, that's normal. But yeah, we normally go drinking. Me, David, and Mike normally go out for something to eat as well. When we're in, if nobody knows about HT Live, it's www.htlive.net. It's the biggest hypnosis convention in the world. I don't give a shit where you are. I advise you to go to it. You'll meet some of the biggest names out there, all right? And you will get to drink with me, Mike, and David, and many other people, and Chris Thompson, and all the other players as well. You know, all the other ones that you see on YouTube. We're all there. We're all there to answer questions and have a big beer, or a gin in my case. I don't drink beer anymore. I had to come off it. Oh, me and Mike have actually talked with each other before. I've talked with Mike. But yeah, that might be an idea. Punt it out to the boys. Ask them what they say. I know what they'd say anyway. Right, human one. Some countries will only give you insurance cover if you have a diploma in hypnotherapy. I'm gonna really give you a clue here now. Is you can make your own certificate. That's how sad this is. You can make your own certificate. People don't come to me for certificates. They come to me for confidence. And those little tweaks, those little things that I can't do on here. All right. So I hope that comes into there. But yeah, you know, we all our insurance, by the way, if you're in England, if you go to Oxygen, if you've done any of my courses, especially if you go to the easiest way to get it is if you do my kinetic shift course. If you do my kinetic shift course, which is on my online, so if you go to my website, go to that website and then go to online courses, there's a course there called Hypnotic Bundle. It's about half price at the moment. It's about $400. There's tons of material and you get mentoring and everything like that with me. This isn't about sales pitching. I'm just telling you now. But in there's a certificate that will get you insurance, and we've got people around the globe that do it. But it's called Kinetic Shift. But if you go look for Kinetic Shift on my online course, then it's there. How do you pitch your pricing levels? This is going to be the last one for tonight until tomorrow. Guys, if you've enjoyed this, you know, just let me know in the comments. And if there's any questions that you want done for tomorrow, please bang them in here and I'll pick them up tomorrow and then set up for tomorrow. But tomorrow's about techniques, all right, about techniques. So if I've got IBS, what technique would you use, right? That's roughly I'm going to go for diagnostics tomorrow. How do you pitch your pricing levels? By confidence. Some of you lucky buggers have booked on with Karl Smith Hypnotherapy, my private side of things, and it's £149. That's a mistake, right? That's a mistake, right? Because at the moment, that's now about to go up to £229 per session, per 45 minutes. So I gauge it like that. When I'm working in Los Angeles, in Hollywood or anything like that, when I'm working with celebrities and things like that, they have a different price bracket because I do days or afternoons with them, and anything can soar from £1,000 an hour to the most is probably about £6,500 for a day, that type of thing. Yeah. Oh, cool. Well, nice one, Mary. I'm glad about that. I've helped you a lot with your business. Great. There was one that I was then going to pick up then, pricing. Yeah, so pricing. You have to find that from your heart. My advice to you is, even if you're starting out, just starting out, minimum UK £99 minimum is what you should be charging. You've invested in yourself, charge that. You know, people go out and spend £100 on going on the piss. They'll spend more than that to go change their life. That's what you've got to do. That's when the confidence comes in. I know that it's hard for you to get your head around, but that's really important that you do start off and start aiming at that. You know, at the end of the day, I'll be brutally honest. You know, when I've charged people a lot of money for a day's work before, and I sat there before and gone, fucking no. How did I get away with that? I've had to do it. I've had to check myself. But you have to do it. You have to believe in yourself. I spend an enormous amount of money on myself, and I eat, breathe, shit this stuff. And I'm telling you now, I live it, and that's all I do. But people know that. Right, Avito asked that question tomorrow about why to snap the clap. Yeah, Laura, yeah, you'll always, if you go to Hypno Thoughts Live, if you type Hypno Thoughts Live in and go there, I think a couple of people that know me on here anyway, they've done it before anyway, so there's that. But yeah, so look, guys, tomorrow is Wednesday, and tomorrow's going to be techniques. I'm going to try and capture as much as I can on there tonight. Julie Williams, I'm going to answer this question right now. What do I think about MP3 recordings? I personally think they're placebo. Why do I think they're placebo? Because if MP3's recordings worked, what I want you to do this week is go buy a course in Spanish, Italian, a language you cannot speak, and try and put the headphones on while you sleep and see if you can speak it at the end of the week. Body language is a good one. I'll do that Thursday. I'll see if I can. In fact, I'll get that in tomorrow, Mario. I'll get that in tomorrow about body language. The key thing is that what I want you to do is I want you to notice this. I think that MP3s are placebo. You could give somebody an MP3 and say, listen to that every night and it'll go. That's a suggestion. It'll go. I don't think the MP3s work, because if they did, we could all learn a brand new language by just putting our headphones in and just listening. Does that make sense? I don't think it works. I don't think it works. I've been. If you don't know a guy called Barry Neal, then we sit here and discuss things like this on a daily basis. I'll get Barry on here one day, but have a good old chin wag. And last one that I'm really going to do now, Yassine, hope you're well. No electricity today. Oh, sorry to hear that. Beautiful country. I only went to Basra and Qazar. Beautiful places. Beautiful country, actually, Iraq. Right. Last one from Cheryl. Look forward to tomorrow's lesson. Do you have a video on how to do a Zoom setup for you, the hypnotist, and how to direct the client prior to? Yeah, if you go to my playlists on Zoom, there is lessons on that. There are lessons on how to do that, how to set your chairs up, how to do it at the angles, what to do, where to do it, and all that type of stuff. What happens if the connection goes? Some of my classes like that, my phone is always next to me when I'm doing things like this, so I can get straight onto tethering. That's why I always have my mobile next to me, all right? But I could discuss that. We could do business on Friday. How does that sound? We could do a little bit of business on tweaking your business and stuff like that, all right? But key fundamentally, guys, I hope I've helped tonight. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help. And for those people, you know, if you need anything, just give us an email. Go to the website and just send it into the chat bot, into the bot thing there, and I'll sort it out there if you need anything. Tomorrow is about techniques, so about diagnostics. What would you use with this and what would you use with that? I'm not going to identify certain techniques due to the fact I think some of them are shite, but on the same token, we're going to talk about techniques and about beliefs and about what you would use where and when. All right. So I hope that helps tomorrow. All right. So guys, I know a lot of people said on the questionnaire last night, yes, I've done loads of inductions before. No, I haven't before. Or I'm not too sure with them. I'm not confident with them. I hope that this tonight, has helped. Remember, it's not just about the mechanics in an induction. It's the preamble prior to it. That's what you've got to look at. Ryan Locke just asked a question, and all I'm going to say on that is every day. It's all about beliefs and patterns, my friend. Guys, I'm going to go. Please leave your comments. If you've got any comments for me, please leave them now. And I will see you at 7:30 tomorrow, because I'm now going to go home. I'm now going to take my little boy who's sitting there to bed and just go look after him tonight. So, guys, it's the elder one, by the way. I'm now going to go to bed and put him to bed, and then I'm going to have a large Baileys. Guys, if I can be of assistance, please let me know. And if you're liking and enjoying this, put the comments below, and then we'll do it again. We'll keep them going. Guys, been a pleasure. All the best. 7:30 tomorrow. See you. Any comments, leave them in the boxes, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Blessings to you and your families, my folks. Blessings. All the best. See you tomorrow.